Hello friends, family, and acquaintances. This is a YouTube video. Holy macaroni and cheese, y'all. I never thought this day would come. Honestly, ask anyone. Be like, hey guys, did Dakota Meatball think this day would come? And you know what they'll say? They'll be like, no, he didn't. He didn't think this day would come. And then you'll be really hooting and hollering about that information that you just picked up off the gray market of info. And indeed, Twisted Fate's gonna be hooting and hollering as soon as I'm done with him. Nunu has a way with words, but he expresses his words through slowing enemies and then just chasing them down brutally and slowly, right? It's not, okay, listen. You're playing Nunu. Maybe you're trying to get some kills. That's fine. You're having a blast. Everyone's having a blast. You play any other champion, what do? You chase down the enemy and then you kill them. And that's that. You go on your way, the enemy's respawning. When you're playing Nunu and you're chasing down an enemy, what do? You chase down the enemy and you just slow the enemy down so that it takes forever for them to run away. And during this time, you do absolutely minimal damage so that you're just slowly wearing them down. You know, you don't have any hard CC, so they think that maybe they can escape. But you've got that snowball, okay? You've got that snowball lock, I'll call it, right? A CC lock is when you chain CC together. You got it, that's it, the snowball chain. That's what you got, alright? And you put a red buff on top of that, you do a little more damage, you slow them a little bit more, but in the end, it's the same war of attrition, you know? It's just a battle of what's gonna happen, you know? Is anything gonna happen in the next 20 seconds that's going to allow this enemy to live? Is an enemy teammate gonna come along and save this guy? Or can I just run at him as he slowly limps away, as he's trying to escape the ice frost of destiny? When really deep down, I think we both know what is going to happen. For after all, there is no escape of the ice frost of destiny. No, no. That is where you have made your greatest mistake. You have assumed that you can escape the likes of Nunu. And for that reason, you have fallen. Well, to be fair, you have not fallen yet, but you will fall soon. Right? He's taking his time. Nunu's taking his time on this one, right? He's really making sure he gets it just right. Which is sort of a conundrum. You know? If Nunu really takes his time artistically with killing, right? He slows you down so you can barely move, and then he just has his way with you slowly until eventually you get worn down to no health. If Nunu puts that much thought into his art of slaying enemies, why is it that Nunu and Jin synergize so poorly together? What do you mean that the lore is separate from the gameplay? What does that even mean? No, dude, the gameplay is the lore. Whatever you see in game, that is what a majestic wizard would create in the world of this lore if he could create it. And indeed he can. And indeed he did. That's right. Majesty Wizards. Coming soon. Oh, what is it? What is Majesty Wizards? You want to know? Oh, okay. So, you want to know, okay, you want to know what medium it is. Like, is it a video game? Is it a movie? Is it a comic strip? I don't even know, dude. Is it a multi-part visual novel? You know? Could be any of these things. I don't know. I'm just the guy developing it. And by that I mean, I'm just the guy not developing it. Because before this commentary started, Majesty Wizards, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Wait, it probably is something. Which brings us back to one of our favorite series here on the Dakota Meatballs YouTube channel, The Googly. So we're going to look up Majesty. How do you even spell Majesty? Is it an I or an E? It's an E. Okay, very good. Majesty Wizards. What is this? Wizard in Majesty, the Fantasy Kingdom. Okay? So there's a game apparently called Majesty. Okay, there's a game called Majesty, and you can play a wizard in it. But as far as I could tell, there's nothing called Majesty Wizards. So maybe Majesty Wizards is really where we cut the cake. Cut the cake, but you know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. I think I'm explaining this extraordinarily well. And if not, then that is okay. I will work on my rhetoric. And that's fine. See, look at this. I'm chasing down Thresh, right? He's barely moving. I'm not doing any damage. I'm just making his life a living heck. And oh boy, is that not fun for him. In the end, 10 seconds later, my ally got there before his ally did, so he had to flash to safety. Indeed. That's all it is on Nunu. You're just doing nothing. You're making an enemy do nothing. And then eventually, somebody else shows up, and they decide the battle. And that's what I love about Nunu. Really, when you get down to the core of what I think makes Nunu fun to me, it's exactly that. Nunu is a nullification orb in and of itself. He will do nothing and he will make an enemy do nothing. And they are stuck in this purgatory of nothingness until eventually one player on either team comes along and messes with the balance of the zone that Nunu has created. If it's a friendly ally of Nunu, then Nunu wins the fight. And if it's an enemy ally of the enemy, which makes complete sense to say it that way, then the enemy will win the fight. I like that about Nunu because it means it doesn't matter what you do. It makes Nunu the ultimate nihilist. He can do anything. And it's just up in the air then about what the other players do in the game. Complete and utter 50-50. And you might think that that's not good. I want to have more control about whether I win or lose. However, try to consider the freedom of choice that it gives you when you play a champion where the game is decided by a simple flip of the coin. Think about everything that you could do in the game. Think about all the different crazy strategies you can try. All of it is something that you can uniquely experience without negatively impacting your team. Which is, I'm hearing about this, there's like peer pressure to sort of perform correctly, perform well. Okay? Because a lot of people like to get mad at their teammates. I don't know what that's all about, but that's a conversation for another time, right? For me, if you're on a team, the people on your team are your teammates. So you should, maybe play like a team. But I mean, it's not a rocket made of science. It's a rocket made of Jello. That's right, rocket-shaped Jello molds coming to a store near you. Maybe. Okay, maybe not.